it seems to me that the aid budget is about us giving charity overseas. When you've got an emergency in this country, it's time to say that charity begins at home. I mean, what are we doing giving £300 million a year to India, who've got a space programme, aircraft carriers, and they've even got planes on them? So there's a very strong argument that says, spend the money here.
But there are disasters and disasters, if you know what I mean. This is a disaster as we see it in the United Kingdom. It's nothing like typhoons, Typhoon Haiyan, things like that, is it? You know, where thousands of people die.
That may well be true, but wouldn't it be a good gesture to see a British government saying, we're going to put our own struggling people first? Yes, this is the most extreme case, but don't forget, in Chertsey, there's horrible flooding there. There are parts of Kent still under very, very big flood alert, let alone the storm damage that's been done. We've got a railway to rebuild to Devon and Cornwall. We've got sea walls that need maintaining. You know, this is going to need more than the really paltry sum of money the government's offered so far.
Is this a fleshed out policy then? I mean, is this all the international aid budget gone, you'd stop it all together, or just a proportion of it? And so which proportion?
The international aid budget is £11 billion a year.
So how much
all the government have offered so far is less than 1% of that, in the form of 100 million. Do you know, if suddenly that was 5% or 6%, you'd be talking real.
But is this, you know, the back of a beer mat calculation again? Is this another UKIP policy that's not thought out? Or is it, how much of the international aid budget would UKIP like to see diverted to the UK?
Of the 11 billion we spend in foreign aid, only 2 billion gets spent on genuine humanitarian projects. And overall, I would like to see the foreign aid budget cut back radically. But short term, all we would need is a couple of weeks' money from the foreign aid budget to solve a lot of the financial problems that are going to be caused by this.
But there's an argument, isn't there, as well, that even if that money were diverted, and how much of it's still unclear from your point of view, if that money were diverted to the UK where it is spent, don't the entirety of the British people have to have a say while saying, well, you know, if we're going to spend 10, 20, 100 million on flood defences around the country, we have to be asked, would you rather have hospitals? Would you rather have schools? Do you think it should be spent in the Somerset levels? Do you think it should be spent elsewhere?
Of course. Government faces these difficulties every single day. What doesn't happen is we don't get the worst level of rain in a winter since 1760 and thousands of people suffering terrible damage to their homes. This is a one-off event, and for a relatively small sum of money, the government can also make itself very popular by doing it.
Tell me what you've seen while you've been going around here, what your reception has been. What have you made of the reception that the likes of Lord Smith from the Environment Agency has been getting? We saw Owen Paterson, the Environment Secretary, getting a bit of a rough time. What's your reception been like?
I think there is a feeling from people that politicians and bureaucrats turn up for a photo op and then disappear. And I've made it absolutely clear from first thing this morning, I'm here to meet people, I'm here to learn. And I've been looking at floodplain maps and building proposals, and I will leave here knowing a lot more about this situation. What really gets me is that last March and April, there were local politicians going on television, including UKIP ones, saying that unless we change the management of these rivers, there was going to be a problem this winter. And I feel that the Environment Agency have failed completely. They seem to want to follow European directives to the letter of the law, and really they should be putting the interests of farmers and householders before that of beetles and voles.
But should they be putting town before country?
Well, that of course, again, we don't know exactly strategically what's happened here, but there does appear to be, you know, very large amounts of money spent, for example, on Exeter, you know, which is just down the road, where their defences have been shored up, and here they've stopped dredging. So these again are very difficult decisions, and we're going to have a public inquiry after all this to find out how we're managing the rivers in this country, because clearly we're not getting it right.
Well, we had an inquiry, didn't we, after 2007? We had a report of bad floods then. Nothing seems to have changed.
This is different. The public inquiry I'm calling for is to look overall at this country as to how we're managing sea defences, how we're managing our rivers, and to what extent we're doing it ourselves or following European laws. I don't know the answer to that, but somewhere in the mix we've got to find this answer.
I think there's much more of this kind of weather to come, these weather events. We're not just, of course, talking about the Somerset levels at the moment, we're talking about these storms that seem to be just consistently battering the south and southwest.
Well, we've just been through 3 very cold winters when nobody thought it would ever happen again. This winter we've barely had a frost, and a perpetual series of low-pressure systems coming in off the Atlantic. There are all sorts of theories as to why we've got this weather. The Met Office this morning are telling us because it's climate change.
Yes, that's how we do you go along with that?
Oh, well, this is the same Met Office who talked about a barbecue summer a couple of years ago. And
well, that's a bit different.
Even if this is being caused by climate change, Given that the Indians and Chinese are building 4 new coal-fired power stations every single week, frankly, there isn't much we can do about it. What we've got to do is manage the situation that we've got.
But you don't think it's caused by climate change in the first place? What, you just think it's an unusual variation in weather patterns?
I think it's weather, yeah. It's been happening since the dawn of time.
Okay, we'll go along with that. Listen, I want to bring in now Ravi Singh, who's standing behind you now. You may know Ravi, he's from the Cancer Aid, isn't it? Hi, good to see you, Ravi. Thank you very much for coming on. Now, tell us about the work your charity's been doing here. We've been seeing you and others working down there on the riverbank there, making that path an awful lot safer that people have got to use. Why have you come down here?
Can we first say, I've been here since yesterday morning with our team, and I have read the report about the young boy dying in Chertsey, and we must keep these tragedies in mind and pray for the family. And we are deeply saddened. We didn't expect any deaths, but this happened. Is very, very sad. And what's happened with Carl's Aid, on Friday morning, I've called almost everyone. With my wife, we called every organisation, from councils to everything. We want to help. Negative response, and there was no coordination. There was no centre point for us, somebody like us, to say, okay, ring this person. As soon as we landed yesterday, thanks to the landlord of this pub, Jim, we got stuck in. Straight away, we were helping families move furniture, clear basements, had lunch here about 2 o'clock, went all the way down the river here, walked about 2 miles down the road. We commissioned a truck of sand, 16 tons, bagged it, then another truck. We finished bagging with the local community, not just ourselves. We're not bigging ourselves up, just with our team in the community. We bagged about over 1,000 sandbags, about 30 to 40 tons of sand. We're all aching. And then the boys from our team, called Middle and the Langar Seva guys, they're working there, a group of Sikhs. We're scrapping lads. We want to do something. I said, get down here. They need to put wood chipping all the way along. And 6 of them arrived this morning, and they've been digging deep. They've been, you can see it, more and more is coming. They're loading other wheelbarrows and getting stuck in. I think it's a quite a shock when you turn up.
It yourself. Is, yeah.
And when you see on TV, it's different. And I think Sky coverage has been fantastic, and that's what really got us here now as well.
Just want to ask you, Mr. Farage, what do you make of this? Cancer Aid has been
absolutely
weighing in here.
Fantastic. And it's funny, isn't it? When there are disasters overseas, and I accept that the Philippines is worse than what's happening here, but when there are disasters overseas, the British are very quick to send money and to send people, and it feels to the people living here that we have a serious problem here, and no one does anything, and no one cares. And I think what you guys have done is a fantastic gesture.
Yeah, well,
I just wanted to ask you, Ravi, what do you make of Mr. Farage's point about some of the money that Britain spends? We are a mighty, powerful G8 economy. Isn't it right that we spend quite a lot of our money overseas to help others who are less fortunate? You've been in those situations, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been in the front end of it, and I think there is a case for regimes that have nuclear programs for their foreign aid, but as a humanitarian, I don't think we should cut any humanitarian aid. But why is Europe so silent? Where's the European Union banging on saying, here you are, we'll give you
Don't get this man started on that.
No, but also, the other thing I find from locals here, I'm not a politician, I'm a humanitarian, I'm not here to please you, yourself, whatever, we're here to dig deep. And I think people are going to score points over this. We're not here to blame any governments, any officials. We're saying to anybody, get these clothes off, get the dirty, look, we're filthy. Get stuck in for a couple of days, then give your opinion, what you feel. It's not always about money. People seem to always blame money. When we walk into that house to help someone clear their furniture, they've got young kids. It's that hope somebody brings when they take a step over their door saying, we're here for you.
But it's heartening, isn't it, Mr. Farage, to see people of all races, all religions who are British just digging in.
Absolutely brilliant. No, I think this gesture will stick in people's minds for a very long time to come.
And that European Union point, I mean, they've got these funds, we know about the special funds they have.
Yeah.
Would you be happy to see those accessed and some of the UK's own money, I suppose, being recycled
to get some of our own cash back would be a good thing. It'll take months. And because we're British, we're incredibly unpopular over there at the moment. Look, let's not rely on Europe to sort this out. Let's sort this out ourselves. You're quite right, people need physical help here, but also, just for a tiny sum of money, the government can say to people, they'll suffer no
But then again, we keep talking about money again. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Like when we were coming here, we were told by some people, you don't need money, you don't need to come here, people are insured, like we made a point earlier.
Not really,
the insurance company is not going to turn up to give you that moral support. The public are, the community is, and 15 years of doing this sort of work, I've never seen such a resilient community and getting so together. And also, the one last point here, very quickly, I think it's very, very important that if people are feeling now dredging the river is one answer, and you know, they're not happy with politicians, then. And that's my message to the local people.
Are you a UKIP member? I don't know. because somebody here wants to recruit you.
I do, absolutely.
It's very easy to blame all the time. Let's just do something ourselves. If people want to come here, link up with somebody, don't turn up, and do something. Just show your moral support. That's all it is.
I've got a last good question for you, Mr. Farage. It's about Mark Harper, the immigration minister, who's resigned after, it seems, unwittingly employing somebody who didn't have the right to be here. Do you think he's done the right thing? And is it a mistake that could have happened to anyone? It could happen to a UKIP member. They could have had a cleaner or a plumber.
Given that he was behind those poster trucks that were going around London last summer saying, if you're here illegally, we're after you and we're going to get rid of you, he had absolutely no choice but to go. I don't for a moment think he did it deliberately, of course he didn't. But what it does show, he's not the first person in government to have found themselves employing somebody who's here as an illegal immigrant. And what it does, it highlights the scale of the problem.
Yeah, well, you say to UKIP members, have you had a careful look at who's minding your children and who's cleaning your house?
I don't need to have a careful look at all the UKIP members because you guys do that for us all the time.
Okay, listen guys, nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed, Nigel Farage, Ravi Singh. Very good to have you here. We'll let you, Ravi, get back and do all your good work there on that riverbank. We're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we're going to be looking at the issue of infrastructure, particularly the case with the main line down to the southwest. That's out of commission. We don't know for how long. Some saying 6 weeks. Well, that would be the shortest option. It could be a lot longer. The question is, have these storms